What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy November 7th to all of you. 5:30 p.m. in New York, 2:30 p.m. in Vegas, 4:30 p.m. right here in San Jose, Costa Rica. We have a ton of work to do. Maxwell Smart coming off a giant night. Wow. Unbelievable. Almost swept the board. He'll be joining us in 29 minutes. In the next 29 minutes, I have 11 hockey games and 4 NBA games to break down, so I got to move quickly. Shout out to all the cappers in the chat. Lillian Pumpernickel, Alex Ramirez, Lanila Land, Guillermo Zerducci says Eagles landed in Oaktown. Raiders. That's an incredible Thursday night game, and I'm falling apart in NFL. So I had a 1-3 night in NBA. That's only my second losing night of the season. But I'm doing well in NBA, well in NHL, cash that 6.5 under, rolling in those sports. Thanks to Max, I'm 4-1 in college basketball. But football's just crushing me, and I'm very hesitant to make a move on a Thursday night right now, on a night that's filled with volatility. Everybody's saying, don't believe what we saw from the Chargers because the Packers partied in LA or whatever. Raiders missing some pieces on the O-line. I would like to take the Chargers. And I'm not going to, I don't think. Not with so many sharp cappers on the Raiders. So those of you who are coming here for a Thursday night pick, I don't have confidence right now in leading you in any direction. And I hate saying that, but Miguel Angel, I want to help, and I can only help you through NHL and NBA right now. Tri-Sorian House, take it easy. Gas Station Sushi has 2 horses running today. 2 horses running today. One at Delta Downs, one at Golden Gate. That's so exciting. That's heaven. That's my dream of a future. TJ Parks is hammering the Sharks tonight. I know a lot of people on the other side, but I am with you. I'm with you. Sure, Zuccarello makes this Wild team so much stronger. So much stronger. Finally, some offense. Doesn't come from a 40-year-old Eric Stahl. But I think the Sharks should go on a run now. I think that we are getting value on this hockey team. Could the Sharks blow up in our face? Yeah. But I'm with them, and I'm with you. Moses Saucedo, Keith Sadler, Ron Crosser, Walla Walla Dos. Fat Fist. Dennis Garcia, Drexley. We are going to be playing Fat Fist play of the day fight video for UFC on tomorrow's show, not on today's show. We have to move quick. Dennis Garcia says under in New York Islanders, Pittsburgh. Yeah, I mean, I'm already on the Islanders. I've gone against 3 market moves in the NHL today, and yeah, the under is appealing to me. I know people who think Pittsburgh, how could Pittsburgh's offense light up, especially without Letang in the lineup? We're going to talk more about that. Drexler, Ron Crawford, Gas Station Sushi, Nothing Ordinary Sports. Paulo Marquez, St. Louis Elite. Matt Randall in the house. It tain't smash yesterday. As it always is. E. Walps. Jesse Nemeth. Big E. Deer Slayer Ski. Ethan Payson. Eric Swells. Von Polo. Mississippi Kid. Ron Crawford. All right, great group. Christian E. Diaz in the house. Victor Liu. Prince of the City. Hustle Wilson. It's one of the best names in the game right there. Hustle Wilson. D. Boston. All right. Let's get to work right now. St. Louis Elite says lay off Pittsburgh New York Islanders. No, I'm not laying off. I'm not going to lay off a team that's missing Letang. I'm not going to not take a team that's won 10 straight. Even if the market move makes them a dog, it doesn't scare me. All right, Calgary, Carolina on the puck line, and the Kings is Ron Crawford's spreadsheet. G-Sauce, big on Flyers today. Okay, let's go. Okay, so we have 26 minutes. Let's get to work right now. There's Bobby Cox in the house. Lillian Pumpernickel, you know me, Lillian, and I'm very hesitant about taking over 6.5s. Alex Ramirez, Oakland Raiders is the Spidey play of the day. I'm going to copy and paste that. I'm just very, very hesitant. And okay, let's go right there. Let's start here. Okay, let's get the market moves up and add them, and then let's start breaking down this incredible card. Very, very, very exciting card for us all to hammer here, and let's get to work. Oh, we got a Wofford. We got to play today. Okay, let me go. There's Jeff Billings in the house. Stu Chaos says, did you see my tweet? I did not. I apologize to Stu Chaos, but I will take a look. Going to copy and paste that right now. Copy and paste her. Flick my big said, been grinding at work all day. I haven't had a chance to get this NHL card. I'm telling you, let's get it, fellas. Austin Kowalski ready to get to work. Okay, let's do it right now. Let's get at it. Okay, here we go. Sportsbook Review, the best odds page on the planet. We need it up. Sportsbookreview.com, SBR odds. I'm going to switch my opener back to Pinnacle. We'll move it back over to We'll move it back over to 5 dimes when Max comes on. But for now, we're going to use Pinnacle openers. And let's destroy this NHL card right now. I'm going to spreads and totals. All right, let's go. Here we go. We're going to start with Vegas, Toronto. Toronto opening up at minus 128 now, minus 152. This total opened over 6.5, minus 112. There's been a 2-cent move towards the over there. Ski profit in the house. Now, Subban is a Toronto boy. Malcolm Subban. Malcolm, PK, their dad was a principal, a very popular principal in a school in Scarborough. You think these Knights want to win this game for their boy Malcolm? They want to enormously. This is one of the biggest games of Malcolm's life. I know that sounds crazy, but it is. He's going to have so many friends, family at the game. So from one perspective, I think, oh, that's dangerous for Malcolm. But those guys in the dressing room want to win this game for Malcolm. And that's why I will not take the Toronto Maple Leafs. Look at RMK dominating. I love it. That's why I will not take the Toronto Maple Leafs. Toronto improved the home record 5-2-3 Tuesday with 3-1 victory over the Kings. They get Johnny Tavares back, 18 minutes. You know, he missed an open net. He'll get rolling soon. Maple Leafs have won 2 in a row after losing 4 or 5. Knights playing their second game of a 4-game road trip. They beat the Jackets on Tuesday. Engelland, who's such a heart and soul guy for this team, a Las Vegas native, he's not playing well. They're making him a healthy scratch here. I cannot. Lillian Puppynook says Leafs money line or minus 1.5. I can't do it. I don't trust these Leafs right now. And Lillian, if you wanted the Leafs, you needed to take them around minus 129 or minus 130. Fatfit says Vegas plus 140 value then. Yeah, value. It's a game that makes me very uncomfortable. And I'm not making a move on it. Let's go to Capitals Panthers. You talk about a game where I would like to take the over 6.5. It's here. But I'm still hesitant. Why am I hesitant? These 6.5 scare the shit out of me. And it's a problem of maybe it's just bad capping. Florida, Washington. There's a 7 now at Pinnacle. So minus 126, minus 130. Pinnacle opened the 6.5, minus 117. Maybe that's when it should be taken. This is a huge. Matt Randall says best money on the board, Robert Morris. Quack is still taking the Leafs. Their sports cake in the house. Says 2 days off seems like 2 weeks off. Everybody watch Sports Cake. It's going to be fun on this Thursday night action. All right, Caps, Panthers. Caps scoring 3.94 goals a game. Panthers 3.57 goals a game. They're both allowing over 3 goals a game. They both have great penalty killing, which may slow down these great power plays. Holtby's playing better. Bobrovsky's got to step up. Johnny Q wants to set a precedent that these Panthers are going to be tough to play at home. Panthers have earned at least 1 point in 10 of their last 11 games. If you want the Panthers right now, they opened at minus 118. They're now minus 108. Almost a pick 'em. Look, I could see both sides of the slate here. St. Louis Elite on Maple Leafs money line. I get it. Ski profit. Dennis Garcia says Vegas 0-3 in games. Fleury doesn't start. It's different tonight because they know how much this means to Malcolm. It's different tonight. This is not your average road game. This game means the world to Malcolm. It's different tonight. And if you guys want to jump on the Leafs and think maybe this is too much pressure for Malcolm Subban, do it. Should have gone on at minus 129, minus 130. But I'm not going to do it because I know what it's like when every single player in the dressing room wants to win it for their goalie. So hammer away if you want. I will not be doing it. Panthers 3-1-1 at home this year. They're about to go on a run. 1 point in 10 of their last 11 games. Barkov only 2 goals. Hoffman 1 in his last 10. That also kind of takes me away from taking the over here. Takes me away of making a move on the over here. You want to talk about another hot team? It's the Capitals. Won 4 straight. 8 of 9. Only loss coming in overtime. Carlson dominating right now. Ronnie Christie says Subban gets lit up like a Christmas tree tonight. So what you're saying is, and it did cash Joe Anisi. Great move getting the 4.5. You're saying you don't believe in Malcolm Subban? That's your call. But this game means something to him right there, and I'm not going to get in the way. And you guys can't. But would it surprise me if he steps up tonight? No. Mississippi Kid on the over 6.5. All right, let's move on to my first play on this card. Okay, the Islanders swept the Penguins last year. It was embarrassing for the Pens. Sure. But it doesn't matter to me. You can want to win a game all you want. But the fact that the Penguins could be favorites right now against the Islanders is nuts to me. This Islanders team that's won 10 straight, playing at Barclays Center because the Penguins are in town, there could be fans there. Teddy B, I just explained it. What makes you confident? Look, I'm not backing the Knights, but this game means the world to that kid. It means everything to that kid. I said, his dad's a very popular principal in Scarborough. The fans, the place is going to be packed with his family, his friends. It means the world to him. Look, you know how I cap a lot of times from psychological situations. I'm not getting in the way of Malcolm Subban in a game that means more to him than maybe any game he's ever played. All right, I'm on the Islanders on the -1 line. I got a plus 177 on the -1 line. How is that possible? All of the sharps are on the Penguins. Crosby and Malcolm want to send a message to the Islanders. Then show me. Show me on the ice. Let me get there quickly. I got, I got plus 171, on the -1 line. I got plus 103 at 5 dimes, plus 237 at Heritage. My book, Bet365, was giving you the worst number of every book, -110. And then plus 220 on the -1.5. Antoine Seymour on the Islanders team, total over 2.5. Matt Randall, it's guys like you that make this show special. It's not me. Michael Perez says, Penguins all day, Jimmy. They remember getting swept last year. I'm on the Pens puck line. Michael Perez, if sports were only like that, a team embarrasses you and you can fight back. This is not a Disney movie. This is an Islanders team that's won 10 straight. Maybe we come back here tomorrow and the Pens taught everybody a lesson. They're going to have to show that to me on the ice because I see an Islanders team that's won 10 straight games and you're going to give me a plus line on them? That's nuts. Yes, the Penguins are angry, but the Penguins are not as good of a hockey team as the New York Islanders. What does it matter that the Penguins are angry? What, are they going to use a flying V? All right. Islanders are doing all this without Andrew Ladd, Matt Martin, Jordan Eberle, Leo Komarov, Tom Kuhnhackl. They're doing it all with kids. They're doing it all with guys up from minors. They're an incredible hockey team. Penguins have lost 2 in a row. They've lost 5 of 7. And I'm supposed to sit here with this Penguins team without Chris Letang and say, oh, God, they're angry. Fuck that. Now let's take a look at this total. That's 6, juice to the under. Yeah, I think it's going to be a tough game. Yeah, I think the under's in play. Yes, Jin Rummy, I don't care what your number. Jin Rummy, we know we cap differently. All right. RMK says Islanders are better in every way. Take away the name of the Penguins and Penn should be plus 135 here. Do I want to take an under 6? Maybe. Gas Station Sushi says your Subban breakdown reminds me of when Royals pitcher Brad Keller went back to Atlanta and pitched the gem. Okay, yes, I would like to take the under 6. That seems to make a lot of sense. But, okay, I'm just going to leave that as a lean and just kind of think about it. I got to keep moving. I can't sit here and on and on. Okay, next up is Canadiens Flyers, Carey Price versus Carter Hart. So the Flyers are doing all this with Konechny and players like that, the young guys coming up, and Carter Hart playing great defensively. I don't know if I have enough faith in it if it's not going to be the Giroux leading this team. Habs, I know that the Bruins were on the second half of a back-to-back, but the Habs stepped up there. That's a big 5-4 win they just had over the Bruins on Tuesday night. They believe in themselves. Vince Verheyden says 78% of the money on the under and the line didn't move. Rocky Top guy says make the flying V. Make the flying V. Great again. Oh, man. Okay. Dutch Boy Fresh says, Jimmy, wifey says you sound angry today. No, man. I find this game very, very difficult, this Flyers-Canadiens game, because I don't know what we're going to get from the Flyers game in and game out. You get it open at minus 124, money coming in on the Canadiens. I'm off of it. K-Con saying the over in this game. These two goalies are both capable of stepping up. Sports Gangsters here for the Mighty Duck references. Okay, we don't have a lot of time. I got to keep rolling. Rangers, Hurricanes next up. The Hurricanes should not be this big of a favorite. Yes, they've been great at home this year, but it doesn't matter to me that the Rangers are on this, second half of a back-to-back after beating up the Red Wings last night. Ringer Ring says, what's your record on NHL this year? I didn't add my win from yesterday. Do we have, we could bring we don't even know. Okay, so I could tell you quickly. This is without adding another unit from the under 6.5. I didn't send it in today. My NHL record is so it's up 1 unit. So it's 24 and 22. You do have yesterday's? Okay. No, that's old. That's old. That's more than yesterday's. Yesterday I was 23 and 22, up 5.64 units, 12.53% ROI. I'm 24 and 22 right now. I hit the Stars -1, Arizona, Calgary over 5.5 to make it 23-22 2 nights ago. Yesterday I hit the under 6.5. So my record right now is a ROI at about 15%, 6.64 units up on the year, 24 and 22. Okay, and that's all because, Ringer Ring, that's all because of an average line of plus 131. Okay, let's keep rolling, and we have basketball, NBA we still have to get to. So I just can't take the Hurricanes at this line. Yeah, I mean, they're a really good team, and Rod Brindamore gets the best out of them, but minus 260, no. This over 6.5, I guess I kind of like this over 6.5. But I'm not taking it. That would be a move that I wouldn't be against. But I'm not making a move on it. All right, and maybe if we had broken this down in the morning and I had all afternoon to talk about it, maybe I would have made a move there. Kings, Senators. Let's move over to Kings, Senators right now. Kings, Senators. Kings opened up at -110. They're now -118. This total opened up juice to the over. It's now juice to the under. I do not want to have my money on the two worst teams in the National Hockey League. The volatility skyrockets, and I don't know what to do. Senators were last season. The Kings second last. Ottawa, I would trust Ottawa over the Kings, but I can't do that. Jack Campbell, 3.13 goals against average, 881 save percentage. They're getting nothing from their goaltending. Senators got Artem Anisimov back. He's on a line with Tyler Ennis and Bobby Ryan. They do nothing. If I was controlling them on Xbox, they would do something. But in real life, they don't do anything. So Anisimov comes back. They both finished -2 last game. I don't want to bet on these two teams. The Canucks and Blackhawks. I don't want to bet on the Blackhawks with Corey Crawford in goal. I don't think the Canucks are as good as their record. And when Pettersson starts getting pushed around because there's nobody on the Canucks to protect him, then I'm going to be all over fading this Canucks team. Headshot says under in the Kings game. These are bad hockey teams playing. The volatility skyrockets, and I don't. Ron Crawford says better than Quick, Jimmy. Nah, I don't think he is. I know that Parlay Poppy thinks he is, but I don't really. I think Quick can get back rolling it. Okay. Melee Pettis White says, Jimmy, you're not taking Sens first period? No. We only take Sens first period against a very good hockey team that's not trying in the first period because it's the Senators. We only take the Senators first period when we get giant plus lines. Yeah, Ronnie Crawford is confirmed. Okay, let's keep rolling. Canucks, Blackhawks. So, it's simple to me. I want to fade the Canucks, but I won't do that. I won't do that with Corey Crawford in goal. I'm off. Ronnie Christie says Corsi stat say he's better. Oh, no, I get it. The numbers say he's better. No doubt. All right. Jeff Billings took the Sharks, Celtics, Suns, and Chargers on money line. I like it. Okay, let's keep rolling. And Giovanni says Carter Hart is back. Carter Hart's playing very good. Predators, Avalanche. Pavel Francouz is in goal for the Avalanche, and he could be really good. 29-year-old rookie. Is this like Makarov coming over? I mean, it's obviously not like Makarov coming over 27, but this guy is a vet who could be very, very good. And the Avalanche are angry, and the Predators are 3-2 on the road. And if I had been here in the morning and we had to cat this game together, maybe I take it at minus 114, but at minus 140, I don't take it. So I'm not taking it. Fat Fist, keep the Mighty Duck references coming. Keep them coming. So the Predators flip Laviolette, change their lines up. They reunite Arvidsson, Johansson, and Forsberg, and they're rolling. Colorado begins the season 7-0-1. They're 1-5-1 since. Look, I'm all over this spot with the Predators paying me out with my future bets, with the Predators being the best team in the Western Conference. I believe all of that. Tonight, I don't know. And minus 115 or minus 120, I would be all over the Predators. Minus 140, I don't know. Let's go to Devils Flames. Devils Flames here. Flames open up at minus 173. There's been a 20-cent move towards the Devils. I get it. And if you could have got the Devils, let's see where you could have got the Devils at. You could have got the Devils at plus 152. I would take it. At plus 139, I'm not so sure. I agree, RMK. You have to take the Preds on that, maybe that minus one spot. St. Louis Elite says Preds 10-1 straight up in the last 11 games. Colorado, they want to smash them. There's no doubt about it. This Flames team has come back 34 wins when trailing after two periods since 2014-2015. That leads the league. You know, I watched them come back against the Predators, and that was about as angry as I've been in a long time. You know, the Flames feel good about themselves, even coming back against a tired Coyotes team. I'm not making a move here with either team. Not applicable Devils money line. I hope you got in early. Blue Jackets, Coyotes. Here we go. I'm on these last two games on the card, and we got to move quickly. I'm on the Coyotes. This is not them coming back from a road trip. This is 2 games in Alberta. How is this market moving towards the Blue Jackets? This is a gift. A gift. And all 3 of my bets are going against the market. And I know Jin Remy is sitting there shaking his head. We'll see how this works for me when we come back tomorrow. Raven in the desert, like in the over 5.5 in Columbus, in the Columbus game. Arizona is angry about letting Calgary back into this game. It was the second half of back-to-back. The Blue Jackets have the worst minus 17 goal differential, second worst in the conference. This is my favorite spot on the board. Coyotes minus 1. Let's see what I got quickly. I got the minus 1 at plus 116, money line at minus 139, puck line minus 1.5 plus 178 at 5 times, Pinnacle 5 times. I bet it at minus 145 and plus 170. I'm on the Coyotes. I love it. And then I'm on the Sharks. Now, yes, Zuccarello makes this team so much better, and we talked about it a little bit. But just because they have Zuki, it's not enough. I'm taking the Sharks here at home. I'm taking the Sharks to get on a roll. This Wild team is 2-8-0 on the road. And I know there's Sharp sitting there on the Minnesota Wild, and God bless them. I'm on the Sharks minus 1. I'm not going to add there's bad blood in this Islanders-Penguins game. And I know Brooklyn isn't the best place for it, but I'm going to stay off the total. I'm going to make these 3 plays, all minus 1 lines, all plus lines, and I'm hammering it. So I'm on 3 plays going against the market in each of them. Islanders minus 1, Coyotes minus 1, Sharks minus 1. Let's get into NBA right now. Get into NBA right now. Celtics, Hornets, Kemba Walker coming home. Celtics 110.3 points per game, 104.7 points allowed. Hornets cashed for me on that plus 140 because Devontae Graham went off. Celtics coming in as, I'm on money line. Let's go to spreads and totals here at sportsbookreview.com. Good thing we have Ski Profit in the house. DJ Big Boss joining us. All right, Celtics open up at minus 6. Now they're at minus 7. There's a 7.5 of Bovada and Bookmaker. This total opens up at 219, comes all the way down to 215. I had thought in my head that they were playing in Brooklyn, that was the beginning of 17 games in Brooklyn, but you know what? Maybe that was a mistake just to think that they were going to continue playing there. Let me just take a quick check because you're right. That's very, very important. Here we go. Yeah, they're at Barclays in Brooklyn. Okay. JR3 Inc. says take Walker, put up big points. Rayhan in the house says, yo, Jimmy, I'm on fire this NBA season. Got Spurs minus 5.5. I almost took the Spurs minus 5. I came so close, but I hesitated. Under on Suns Heat. Write these down. They will both hit. I went over every home game the Spurs have played all year. I went over every road game the Thunder have played all year, and I was like, am I really going to put my own money on this spot? I don't know if I can trust the San Antonio Spurs spot. Ski Profit leaning Hornets. Great to have you in the chat, Ski. Walker leading the Celtics with 26 points a game. You know what he wants is Hayward coming off just an explosion. Hit all 16 of his shots inside the arc, went 17 for 20, and they beat the Cavs by 6 points. What would have happened if Hayward hadn't have gone off? Hard to trust. Gabriel Jocelyn liking Spurs first half. That was another move I came so close. I came so close to making. So close to making, but I did not. So close. Capper Investments. We got Twatty Latte in the house. Great call on Pitt yesterday, Twatty. Oh my God, we got Dan Kelly in the house. First quarter, Charlotte +2. Third quarter, Charlotte +1.5. First quarter, Phoenix even. First quarter, Miami, Phoenix under 56. Fourth quarter, Portland +0.5. Third and fourth quarter, Boston, Charlotte under. Dan Kelly in the house. Oh, what a treat it is to have Dan Kelly, Ray Ann Hyder, all these great cappers, Ski Profit, all these guys coming back. Vince Verheyden says fade home teams off a win as a dog. 6-2 this year. Celtics -6, baby. Eric Chang got Spurs first quarter, -1, first half, -2.5, full game, -4.5. A. Hilly really liking the Spurs tonight. You know, I came so close, but okay, well, we're going to get to that game shortly. Okay. So Jaylen Brown dealing with his abscess, been in the hospital 5 times last week or whatever it is. He's good to go. Also probable Theis, Williams, Cantor. Devontae Graham stepping up. The Charlotte Hornets like playing on the floor together. Rozier facing his old team. I want to watch this game badly. I don't want to have a huge quantity of plays in the NBA early. Jeff Billings says, I love the Celtics play. It's a good play. We know what happens when you have -6 and -7 road teams in your pocket. NBA eats you up. Oklahoma City Spurs, they open at 5. They're still at 5. Bovada's the only one hanging the 5.5. Total opened up at 214.5. Now at 212 or 211.5 at Pinnacle. Nufflo says, I think Pop stresses defense tonight. Spurs have lost 3 of 4. That loss to the Hawks was ugly. Ugly. Now, how did they manage to lose that game? They led by 8 going into the fourth quarter against the Hawks without Jason Collins. Trae Young goes 5 for 10 behind the arc. Spurs have yet to hold a team under 100 points this season. The Thunder have done it 3 times. Trey Lyles is the one having to get rebounds for them because nobody's crashing the glass. You know what? There's a different energy in OKC this year, and Ski Profit leans Spurs, I lean Spurs. But I went over all of their home games, and I could not pull the trigger. Ron Crawford says Spurs OKC under. Ron Lofton tailed Jay Money with the Celtics. Jay Money will be on our early show tomorrow. I'm not making a move. We have to get to, not have to, we want to desperately get to our Maxwell Smart. Let's quickly talk about these last 2 games. Heat, Phoenix. Phoenix opened up at -1.5, now -1. Total opened up at 217, now 218.5. The 2 biggest surprises in the NBA season. Each team 5-2, top 4 in net rating. Suns have outshot all their opponents in all 7 games. 3rd in the league with 54.4 effective field goal percentage. Miami 6th. These teams are playing great basketball. I want to watch this game, but do you want to make a move on it? Baines on the best run of his entire career, having fun. They're chanting MVP when Devin Booker goes to the line. Kendrick Nunn has recorded the most points by an undrafted player in his first 5 games in NBA history. I did headshot. I'm not making a move on it. Melee Payless way on the Suns -1. Then we get to the Blazers Clippers. Dan Kelly says Suns are playing D. Ray and Hyder on the Suns Heat under. I'm not going to go against the market move, but I find it an exciting play. Eric Chang on that under as well. Gabriel Jocelyn not buying the Suns right now. Rayhan on that under. Not applicable on the Heat money line. Look, I'm going to watch this game. It's hard for me to make a high quantity of plays right now. YMW says, did you like the under in NFL? I did until we found out that the offensive line for the Raiders isn't going to be that strong, and the market's moved it up. And do you want to go up against it? DJ Big Boss making a move on the under. And then finally, Blazers, Ron Crawford, Triple D, Blazers, Clippers. Man, do you want to trust this Blazers squad to step up after they lose to the Warriors? Portland's 1-3 since losing Zach Collins. Going to be out for 4 months. Lillard averaging 31.1 points, but they can't get any stops. Montrezl Harrell coming off 34, 13, and 5. Lou Will goes for 34. This is a good basketball team. But this could be our NBA champions right here, these Clippers. Open up at 5.5, sitting at 5.5. That is appealing to me. Ski Profit leaning to the Heat and the under. And Michelle Rudolph saying, is Max coming on? There's a Stu Chaos on Miami, Phoenix first half under. Capper Investment says Monty Williams, already considered an elite coach, a great leader of men. Giovanni, my guy Giovanni saying Blazers are a dumpster fire. And Ski Profit leaning Blazers. All right, I've got no moves on this NBA card at this point. And I'm interested in that under 6 in the Islanders-Pens game, but there's a reason it's 6. All right, so I'm only on 3 plays in NHL, all -1 lines. Going against the market in all of them. Islanders -1. Sharks -1. Coyotes -1. Coyotes my favorite play. Now, let's get to Maxi Baby. Coming off nearly sweeping the board. Before we do Max's intro, let me just remind you guys of what Maxi did last night. And it was spectacular. Maxi, NBA overall. Merrimack -110, a loser. NJIT, Colgate over 145, cash. UC Santa Barbara -13, cash. Notre Dame, North Carolina under 149, -110, cash. Louisiana Tech -7.5, cash. IUPUI, Butler first half under 67, cash. Green Bay, Purdue under 151, cash. Oral Roberts, Oklahoma State over 151.5, cash. Arizona -22.5, best bet, cash. Wow. 8-1 on the show. Rafa, my man, roll the intro, please.
It wasn't until 2018 that the diamond in the rough went from hooligan to king of the world.
The guy couldn't play for shit, dog. He was awful. But can he cap? Guess he can.
Here he comes. Fresh off a giant night. Let's put up his overall record after 2 days. Rafa, why don't we start there? Show this record after 2 days. I'm on his Twitter feed right now, seeing if he's locked in any plays this morning. Look at that. 32.88 ROI in 2 days. And yes, we do. We have 2 bets right here. Can you put up his best bets record? God damn. God damn. Here he is right now. Please welcome to the show our NCAA college basketball expert, Maxwell Smart. Max, how are you doing on this Thursday evening?
You know what? I'm doing really well. I'm glad to be here. I'm getting into the college football mentality, wearing my Alabama hat, wearing my Alabama shirt, got my Alabama flag, and we're going to roll Tide all over those Bayou fucking Tigers on Saturday. So, getting to college basketball, because obviously that's what I'm here for, we got this Kennesaw State and Drake game popping off right now. I got on the under. I think that you guys can get on the under 149 right now. I'm saying this right now. Drake lost Nick McGlynn, Nick Norton, and Brady Ellingson from their amazing ATS team last year. Kennesaw State has a new coach in Abdul Rahim, and I just don't think that he has his system implemented yet. I will say this, Kennesaw State got their ass whooped by Creighton, and obviously playing Drake is going to be a step down in competition, so we may get a bit of a competitive game. But I definitely think with what Drake is returning, and Wilkins and Murphy and Thomas and Ryan Murphy, what's the other fucking guy's name? I can't remember it right now. But there's a whole bunch of quality depth pieces that I need to see step up, score the way that Drake did, shoot the 3-point like they did, get to the free throw line and make free throws like they did before I back them -14 or -15 even in a home opener.
I get it. Going against the market move, the Kennesaw Drake opened at 148, 1.5, now up to 149. Drake opened at -15.5, and it's down to -14.5. I'm looking at you have 2 plays that you've already locked in, so this is not an official low bag play.
No, this isn't. But for the show, if we're not counting live plays. Never mind. Yeah.
No, we are not. Although you can, on your record, keeping with your Twitter record. There we go. Kennesaw State, Drake. We have 8 games on this card. Oh, sorry. 7 games on this card still to come. And then we're going to take a look at this giant card sitting in front of us for tomorrow. We have 2 moves that Max has already jumped in on. That would be the Seattle-Washington State under. That opened up at 142. It's now anywhere between 138.5 and 136.5. Max got it at 142.5. This is another reason why you have to follow him on Twitter at MaxwellSmart420. Max, why are you under? Or why are you on the Seattle-Washington State under? And do you think that it has any value at the? Oh wow, it's dropping as we speak. It's now 136 at Bookmaker. Bovada, Intertops, you wager down to 136. Wow, that was fast. Seattle, Washington State under. First, break down why you're on it, and then let us know if you think you could still get on it even now.
Okay, so I see a lot of crazy line movement. I'm a screen watcher, so I'm constantly getting notifications on line moves for all these games. And I was really dumbfounded by this move in the Seattle-Washington State game, getting all the way down to 136 right now. Because Seattle, they want to run an up-tempo, old school Eastern Washington type offense where they're literally kicking, driving, kicking, and really relying on three-point shooting. Well, unfortunately for Seattle, Mataz Kavis, he's left. He was a 40% three-point shooter for Seattle last year, and he's in Nebraska now. And Washington State brought over Kyle Smith, the coach from San Francisco, and he's a defensive coach. He's a defensive-minded. He likes pack line style defense, even though he doesn't play it. It's the question is, what's he going to do with this roster? He's got 2 great front court pieces in CJ Ellerby and Deion James to really slow down the offense, protect the rim a little bit, and be solid on the offensive glass. My X factor for this team is Marcus Cannon. He is a 6'5" guard, forward. He's a defensive 3-and-out guy. He's a glue guy. I look for him to really step up and show his ability within Kyle Smith's system tonight. And when I look at this Washington State team, they do have some interesting pieces. Ryan Rapp, the small forward signee from San Francisco who followed Kyle Smith over here. And then Dennis Rodman's kid, DJ Rodman at 6'6". So there is some interesting pieces on this Washington State team. But with their length, I just think that they're going to be able to slow down the pace. And I think on offense, they're going to be very methodical in the half court. I expect Seattle to try and speed up the tempo, but let's not be frank. Miles Carter's no slouch down low. And if they want to go toe-to-toe with their big man, I think that's a way that Seattle can score the ball, that they can actually have an advantage against Washington State. But I just don't see this game going over.
Well, it's just dropping so fast. 135.5 now. So, I mean, Max got it 7 points higher. I mean, you can't. How does anybody take it? Say what?
Yeah, no, I can't recommend anybody taking it now. The only thing that I would be able to recommend is jumping on the other side and trying to see if you can hit the over. At 135.5 or 136, it seems a lot more manageable. I expect one of these teams to get 71 points tonight. I'm just not sure which one.
All right. And do you have a lean towards the side in Seattle, Washington State?
Yeah, I don't like the number. I think that I would be taking Seattle on the first half and Washington on the full game, but it's just a lean for me. I am also considering using Washington State in a money line parlay with UAB, but they start at 8 and 9 o'clock respectively, so I'm going to actually hold off. You'll have to check my Twitter for that.
Okay, we have questions coming in. I see your question, Willie, and we will get to that, but it's not on today's card right now, so we will get to that soon. Austin Kowalski says, what is Max's Twitter? I will put it in the chat here in 1 second. Next up, Scandler, our guy Scandler37 says, Hartford total, big move to the over. What do you think of that, Max? Max got on the Hartford under 152 minus 110 at last night. This has gone from 152 to 154.5, 155, or even a 155.5. These are the 2 official low bag plays that he locked in last night. Winthrop, Hartford, and this market move has gone against you, Max. What do you think of this?
Yeah, so I think that a lot of people are thinking about the old Winthrop Eagles from last year who made 12.4 3-point makes a game, which was first in the nation. Well, unfortunately, they lost 38 points of scoring production from that team last year, and it all came from the backcourt. Obviously, they still have Kyle Zunick, who's going to obviously be promoted to the starting lineup, but I feel like with Josh Ferguson and redshirt freshman DJ Burns coming in, I think that they're going to have to score a little slower, play a little bit slower pace, and take a little bit less 3-point shots. I think obviously you have an X factor in in um, DJ Burns. I think that he can be a very dominant big man in this league with the teams that don't have good size, and there's a lot of them in the Big South. But against this Hartford team, I think that we're not giving them enough respect. Tracy Carter, the LaSalle transfer, he's going to be leading at the point. And although he had a bad game against Central Connecticut State, you have to take into consideration how good Hartford was in the second half. They played toe to toe. They really actually got exposed defensively a lot in that first half versus Central Connecticut State with penetration. In the second half, you just saw a completely different, more intensified defensive effort, leading them to get to the line multiple times, leading them to take better shot selections. And I think that with a team that was so offensively talented like Hartford was last year, losing 4 out of 5 starters, I think that we have to really put a grain of salt onto what kind of expectations we have for this team. I think Hartford is going to be a lower scoring team this year. I think that Winthrop is going to be a lower scoring team this year. I think based on what they lost, the facts and the roster personnel doesn't support this number going where it is. I'm actually more likely now to jump on it for the show purposes on the under, and I'm pretty confident about that.
And our guy, Robbie Tagaloa, the Samoan Thunder, has doubled up on this under. Once at 153, once at 155. There's my guy, Phil 9, in the house. Max, Winthrop opens up at -1. Now 3s across the board, 2.5 at Pinnacle. If you were going to make a move on the side, what would you do?
Yeah, well, after I saw Hunter Mark play the 6'9" forward, the kid can shoot the three. He can get it. He can get his buckets down low. He can get on the glass and get second chance opportunities. It gives me a lot of good feeling. Obviously, we need Malik Ellison, the Pittsburgh former captain, to play. I'm not sure if he's playing. That's one of the reasons why I haven't been able to jump on Hartford. But if I'm going to be making a play, I'm going to be looking to hit it live, and I'm going to be looking to hit Hartford once I see the starting lineup and who's not and who's playing tonight.
There we go. Winthrop Hartford. So those are Max's 2 official plays so far today. Both the unders. In Seattle under, he smashed it. Beat it by 7 points. Hartford under, he lost it by 2.5 or 3 points. Very, very, very exciting to see how this all bangs out. Let's start breaking through this card and see what else Max has for us. Robert Morris Marshall. Marshall opens up at -9.5. 9.5's everywhere, but Pinnacle's dropped it to 9. The total opened up at 150. There's 149.5s on the board now. Max, Robert Morris Marshall.
All right, well, Robert Morris obviously is returning Josh and John Williams. These are two brothers that average 4.31 3-point makes per contest. Josh Williams averaged 14.5 points per game, 2.94 threes a game. In his last 10, he was hitting 58% from the 3-point range. John Williams, he's going to have the ball in his hand a lot. His turnover ratio is 1.84, 37% 3-point shooter. I think that these guys are the key to the offense. You got two solid pieces in the front court in Mendy and Bain at 6'8" each. They're both capable of giving you a double-double. This Robert Morris team is nice and complete. They return 62% of their scoring, 48% of their rebounding, and 70% of their assists. I think Coach Toole has a great team in this Robert Morris team, and they're going up against a team in transition in Marshall. Obviously, Mike D'Antoni wants to play fast, but John Elmore and CJ Burks aren't there anymore. He's got Tavion Kinsey to work with. He's got Jared West to work with. Even Jamin Williams, excuse me. But what I think that this Marshall team is going to be different is, as much as they want to push the pace, they have a size advantage against a lot of these small conference, low major teams, sort of like Robert Morris. I think that with Levi Cook and Aaron Bennett, I think that you have size, you have low post scoring ability, and I think that that's going to be a way that I personally think Marshall's going to try and attack Robert Morris tonight. Because of all that, I'm jumping on Robert Morris plus 9.5. I think that this Marshall team, even with Tavion Kinsey leading the way, and Tavion Kinsey is going to be an electric player in Conference USA. He is going to be an alpha. He is an alpha already. It's just we need to see it without C.J. Brooks and John Elmore around. I just don't think in this game tonight with all these new paces and quite frankly, a new offensive philosophy based on the personnel, I think that we're going to see Robert Morris hang into this game. I'm not saying they win the game. I'm saying they hang in with their defense, and this game goes under 150.
And it goes. So you're getting Robert Morris plus 9.5, minus 105 at Intertops. Also, Max, since you said take the over in Seattle, Washington, it went up 2 points as we spoke. 2 points as we spoke. Unbelievable. So is the under also going to be an official play, or is it just Robert Morris plus 9.5?
No. The under is also official play.
The under is also an official play. We have a 150. We have a few 150. Oh, 150.5 at William Hill. Are you 150.5 at minus 115 or 150 at minus 110?
Minus 150.5 and minus 115.
All right.
Extra hook.
There we go. Robert Morris. Yeah, 5 cents worth it. Robert Morris under 150.5. At minus 115 at William Hill. Max is locked in 2 plays right there. Let's keep rolling along. Bryant came through for you last night, or 2 nights ago. 2 nights ago, Bryant came through for you. Will you be backing them again? Rutgers opened it up at minus 21. They're now minus 21.5 and minus 22s on the board. This total opened up at 143.5. There's a 142 at Bookmaker, 141 everywhere else. Max, Bryant, Rutgers.
All right, well, I'll tell you right now, I want that under 142 in this game. Bryant, what I didn't know when they played in their home opener, that was Sebastian Towns was not playing. He didn't play. That's 15 points per game. Ikena Nzuba and Adam Grant obviously are nice offensive pieces in the backcourt. Juan Cardina didn't play the type of minutes I expected him to. And I just think that unless you get another 14-point performance from Michael Green, they're going to have problems against this Rutgers team. This Rutgers team is the most improved team in Division I basketball from last year. Coach Pikel has this team rolling, playing his type and tempo of offense and defense. He has the personnel that he needs. He got Akawasi Yaboa, grad transfer, 6'6" from Stony Brook. I expect him to take over the position of Eugene Oamari, who bolted to Oregon. When you go to the backcourt of Montez Mathis and Geo Baker at home, Rutgers is a dangerous team. I expect Rutgers to play good defense tonight. I don't expect Bryant to put up 71 points, especially if Sebastian Towns isn't in the game. I'm going to actually jump on Rutgers first half if you can line shop a number, and I'm going to take that under 142.
And then under 142 just dropped to 140.5 at Pinnacle. Yes, I can get you Rutgers minus 12. It's minus 110 at 5 dimes in Bovada, bet 365. Pinnacle has that at minus 122, not wanting you to take it. Minus 12 at minus 110 is Rutgers first half. Rutgers first half.
I like it.
Minus 12 and minus 110. That's the first play that I will be tailing on Max's card. Rutgers first half, minus 12 and minus 110. Then you are also on this total. Let me get to it right now. Totals. Here we go. Rutgers total. Sorry, that's first half. Let's go do full game. Pinnacle just cut that down to 140.5. And you can still get a 142, but it's at minus 116 at Bookmaker. Is that okay? That's a point higher than everywhere else.
Yep, I'll take it.
All right, so we have the Rutgers under 142 at minus 116. That is line shopping at sportsreview.com. The SBR odds page. Hello Jesus has a flying V. Play of the day. Islanders minus 1.5. Okay, Hello Jesus. There's Frank's card corner in the house. I'm going to have to copy and paste. Yellow Jesus is flying V. I didn't expect that to catch the 5 that it caught. Okay, I'm going to copy and paste that right now. We are going to move into our next game. Maxie, my God. Presbyterian Clemson. Let's go to spreads and totals here. And Presbyterian Clemson. Clemson opens up at minus 18.5. Now a 19.5 a bookmaker, 20 at most books, at 20.5 at Bovada. This total opened up at 139.5. It's still there at bookmaker. It's 138.5 everywhere else, and 137.5 at Pinnacle. Max, Presbyterian Clemson.
Yeah, so I've already bet Clemson first half minus 10.5. Minus 105. That's a play that I've already banged out. And I think that I like the full game under. I don't think that this Presbyterian team is very talented. Corey Hightower, J.C. Younger, Ben Drake, those are pretty much the standout pieces. But after losing Adam Flagler, Francois Lewis, in one of the best statistical seasons that Presbyterians ever had in the history of the freaking program, I just don't think that even against this Clemson team that lost to Virginia Tech, even though the line moved from 4.5 to 7, I just don't like it. I like them on the first half. I think that they need to come out with a strong first half at home just because of how they played in the second half versus Virginia Tech. I'm not so sure about full game. My gut tells me that the full game they cover also, because let's think about this for a second. Johnny Newman III, Alamir Dawes are actually introducing some nice youth and I would call it perk into this lineup, because it lost a lot. And Amir Sims, for as great as he is at getting you a double-double, he's not the type of player that is going to make you a shot in a key situation. And one of the two guys that I just mentioned are going to have to be the ones, because I don't trust Tevin Mack. I don't trust Curran Scott. These guys have been around the block. There's a reason why you transfer multiple times. Sometimes it's because of family and health issues, but I think it's because of performance and ego issues with these two guys. So we know that Curran Scott and Kevon Moore delivered nothing in the way of production against Virginia Tech off the bench. I expect him to have a rebound game, and I think that the first half is a safer play for me, in my opinion. That's why I got it at minus 10.5.
So for our show purposes, what moves do you want to make on this Presbyterian Clemson game?
Both. First half Clemson minus 10.5 and the under 138. If you can get 138.5, that'd be better.
I can't get you a 10.5.
What can you get me? 11s?
Yeah, 11s. Clemson.
No, then leave it off then.
Leave it off. And then full game, what do you want on this for the total?
Can you get me 138.5?
Are you going under it?
Under, yeah, 100%.
I can get you 139.5, but it's expensive. It's minus 124. I can get you 138.5 at minus 110.
Minus 138.5, minus 110. The juice makes a difference on that one.
Definitely. I agree with that call. All right, we're taking the Clemson under 138.5 at minus 110. And man, it's exciting to watch you figure out whether you should still pull the trigger on a play, depending on where the market is. It's adding a lot of fun to this show. All right, let's keep rolling along. We've already done Winthrop Hartford. We're going into UAB Troy. UAB Troy. We've seen a big move towards the under in this spot. Opened up at 144.5. Oh man, I'm still using Pinnacle openers. My fault. I haven't moved it to 5 times. I meant to do that. So that's an apology. I'll move that over right now. Pinnacle opened up at 144.5 minus 115 and has dropped it down to 140. Pinnacle opened it at minus 6 and it's now minus 7.5 there. Minus 7 at most other books. Oh, sorry. A minus 7 at 5 times, 7.5 at most other books, and 8s at UWager and Bovada. Max, UAB Troy.
Yeah, this UAB Troy game obviously is very interesting because Zach Bryant is going to be running a lot of isolation. He's going to be hitting a lot of frees from the top of the circle. And it's just going to be a matter of what else comes in the form of production. And Maktar Guie and Will Butler, 6'10" and 6'8" respectively, they got to be impactful in the front court. They got to protect the rim. They got to contribute scoring-wise. And they got to give Zach Bryant the lanes and open up the lanes for him to get to the bucket, because we know what an amazing driver this kid is. Use size. Get Taven Loven more shots. This kid's a good three-point shooter. I think that he has a lot of potential to break out this year and really be a dominant backcourt scorer with Zach Bryant, and also a nice piece to spell Zach Bryant when you hopefully give him some minutes on the bench to rest. Obviously, this Troy team is getting taken over by Scott Frost, losing Jordan Bernardo, only retaining Darian Adams. Going to have to rely on three JUCO guards in Gordon, Waters, and Stampley. I'm not sure the production that you could really expect from any of them, and it's hard to see who's going to be the alpha scorer on this team. They lack size, which they didn't last year. They're going to need to slow down the pace, limit possessions, and really try and turn these games into rock fights. So I understand why the line is moving the other way, but for my play in this game that I'm going to give for the show and official record-keeping purposes, I'm going to take UAB minus 7.5 full game.
UAB minus 7.5 full game, and I thought I said there was 1-7 available. There's not. Minus 7.5. I have moved to 5 dimes. Yeah, 7.5 is the only look here. Minus 7.5. I can give you minus 105. That's at Heritage and 5 dimes. Minus UAB minus 7.5. Minus 105 at 5 dimes. That will be the second play I am tailing Max on. UAB minus 7.5 at minus 105. I've also tailed the Rutgers first half play. Let's keep rolling. One more game on this card before we look ahead at tomorrow's giant card. And it's good we're looking ahead because there are a couple early games on the slate that Max won't be able to get to. There's our guy Paco Healy in the house. Okay. Idaho State, Air Force. Air Force opens up at minus 13.5. Now 14.5 across the board. This total has had the bottom fall out of it. Open at 138.5. Now all the way down to 131 at a bunch of books. Wow. A 7.5 point move to the under. Max, Idaho State, Air Force.
So, Jim, you said that you only saw my 2 official picks, but this was a pick that was attached to the other 2 plays. I was pussyfooting around last night after while I was watching the UCLA game, and I kept on looking at this line. I'm like, Air Force, they don't have depth. They rely on front court scoring. They want to slow down the game and limit possessions, and they had trouble stopping a D2 school from scoring against them. Well, who are they playing? Idaho State Bengals. Who are the Idaho State Bengals? The pieces of shit that almost made me bleed out of my eyes while I was watching their game against Wyoming. This team scored 40 points. Okay? They scored 40 points. I don't know how else to frickin' describe that. They got no double-digit scores. They shot 16% from the three-point line. They shot 35% from the free throw line. They committed 15 turnovers. The only thing this team does is get offensive rebounds, but they can't even get second chance opportunity baskets. They can't get points off turnovers. So I got no faith in this team whatsoever. It's all Air Force for me. And because I got the 137.5, I don't feel inclined to make a play on the total now at the number that it's at.
And here it is.
As far as the side, I don't trust Idaho State. But do I want to lay 14.5 points with Air Force in their home opener? I don't want to, but I'll probably end up doing it. But not for the show record-keeping purposes.
And here it is. 16 hours ago. I'm done pussyfooting around on this. I'll jump on this total before it jumps any lower, getting under 137.5 at minus 115 in Idaho State game. And that's along with his official betting with the bag plays. And there you have it. Great job, man. You destroyed. Oh, man, those 2 totals, Max absolutely annihilated. The Seattle under by 7 points and the Air Force under by 6. Wow. Wow. Okay, there you have it. This is Max's card. Seattle under 142.5 and minus 110. The Hartford game under 152.5 and minus 110. Robert Morris plus 9.5 and minus 105 in Intertops. Robert Morris under 115.5 and minus 115. Rutgers first half minus 12 and minus 110. I tailed that. Rutgers under 142 at minus 116. Clemson under 138.5 and minus 110. UAB minus 7.5 at minus 105. I tailed that. Air Force under 137.5 at minus 115. We've got to move on, but there was an interesting question about that look on UAB, and it was from Kanaskat, and I'd like to ask you about it. He said, I'm worried about UAB losing so many seniors. How do you think, or what do you think about that comment from our guy Kanaskat?
I respect that. I respect that approach and thinking about that aspect. But for me, it's really a play against Troy. I respect Scott Frost. He was a great coach at UT Arlington. I think it was a mistake that they let him go, and Troy will benefit in the future from him. I'm just having to look at this roster and the pieces that are there, and I just don't see them being able to really stop what UAB is going to do. UAB is going to run a lot of isolation. They're going to freaking put the ball in Zach Bryan's hand and allow Zach Bryan to win the game for them. And there isn't a difference maker on Troy's lineup that I've seen that can do that. So I respect the line move in this game. And I think that is a similar spot to this Louisiana Tech game from last night.
I get it. I get that look. And the guys are asking, Max, your best bets are 2-0. What is today's best bet on the NCAA basketball card?
Yeah, this is a goddamn tough one. I've been just going crazy about this the whole time that I've been on the show, being like, "Oh, we're gonna get to that point. I'm gonna have to make a decision. What the hell am I gonna do?" And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the Bryant Rutgers under 142 as my play of the day. Yeah.
The Bryant Rutgers under 142 at minus 116. And that is still available if you want it. Anybody out there at Bookmaker at minus 116? It's down to 140.5 at like Pinnacle Bet 365 Intertops. Max, I've tailed your best bets here, and I'd have to do it at 140.5 and minus 110 if I wanted it. What do you say about that? You think I should do it?
I don't know, Jim. I would have to say no. I'm very cautious with what I do for your record. I care about your record more than the show record or than my own personal record. And I don't think that I can lead you along that way. I think that I have to tell you to lay off of it.
And that is exactly what I
But that would make a bad play of the day also.
At 140.5. Yeah. Okay. I will lay off of it. I'm on Rutgers first half minus 12, UAB minus 7.5. Michelle Rudloff getting great lines. Michelle Rudloff's been killing it, getting a 143.5. Wow, Michelle. And she's hammering Sugar House, I believe. Great job. G Sauce has an interesting question that I am interested to. And G Sauce says, what is the other one that was on your mind?
Hartford money line. That was the one that I was also thinking about. I'm like, well, I don't respect this line move. I've watched a little bit of what Hartford did against Central Connecticut State. And with Winthrop losing so much like offense out of their backcourt, it's not going to be as easy for them to hit threes, get in good position to hit threes. And I think that they're going to have to adjust their offensive strategy based on their personnel.
I hear that, and these are great breakdowns. And I hear you, Teddy. I have had a plan on how I was going to handle Max's looks, and I'd had this plan for a while. All year leading up to this. So I've stuck to this plan that I've had, and I'm 4-1 so far. John Schaff says, what is Max's Twitter again? I will copy and paste that right now. While I'm doing that, Max, let's talk about the first game that you're not going to get a chance to cap tomorrow because it starts before the show starts. That's Oakland, Delaware. Oakland at minus 5, this total at 146.5. What do you think of this spot?
Yeah, this Oakland, Delaware spot's going to be real interesting because what's Oakland going to do with the guard play that they don't have anymore? Delaware obviously lost Eric Carter, but Ryan Daly's still there. There's some nice pieces on this Delaware team, but if I'm looking at it, I got to look in the way of Oakland. I'm just not sure that Delaware is going to be able to perform as good as they did last year. Last year was a great season for them. I really want to see how Nate Darling, I want to see how Dylan Painter plays the Villanova transfer, 6'10" redshirt junior. There are some scoring pieces on this team. Like the backcourt is definitely respectable with Kevin Anderson, Ryan Allen. I just don't think that they have anything on the bench that is going to be able to stop Xavier Hill-Myers. Xavier Hill-Myers and Brad Becting, that's a serious front court. Size, low post scoring ability. Xavier can take it out to the 3-point line. He can take it out to the freaking 15-foot line. I think that Oakland is going to be very dangerous tomorrow. If I'm looking at that game and you want my lean right now, I'd be looking at Oakland 5.
Okay, backing Oakland in this spot. It is going to be interesting to watch them play this year. It was a lot of fun capping them last year. Then there is one spot that's going to start while the show is on. So I wouldn't mind getting a quick peek in it, and then we'll go to your looks on the rest of this giant card tomorrow. A card that we did get through 26 games yesterday, so it's not impossible for us to maybe touch on each of them. I'll have to count them up, but that's Davidson-Auburn. 24th ranked Auburn opening up at -3.5. So a lot of respect given to this Davidson team. This total at 145.5. Have you any early leans on this spot?
Yeah, I'd be looking to bet against Auburn right now. First off, no offense to Samir Dowdy and Javon McCormick. They are not the fucking Jared Harper freaking Bobby Brown freaking backcourt of Auburn from last year. Auburn's going to have to change their offensive philosophy. Davidson doesn't have to. Obviously, with Keshawn Pritchett, I want to know if he's playing first for Davidson before I get on them. But at 3.5, it's looking juicy on a neutral floor. This is a neutral court game. Auburn's going to rely on Pureford, Wiley, Anthony McLemore. Like, they rely on the big guys scoring. I'm not convinced that Samir Dowdy and Javon McCormick are going to be a dynamite 35-point fucking backcourt. So I got to go with Kellen Grady and John Axel Gudmundsson on the spread plus 3.5 as my lean right now.
All right. We've got Max's early lean on that spot. We can't open with that game. See if anything changes. Again, you'll have to be on his Twitter if you want to see him beat market moves. Hal Abraham says, can someone tell me what Max's record is for the past 2 days? Can you pop it up once more? Because it's a pretty exciting record. And I know there's going to be ebbs and flows, but he's coming off an 8-1 day. And it's just been a lot of fun to watch break down. My look, simple guru. I'm on 3 -1s. I'm on the Islanders, the Coyotes, and the Sharks, and I'm going against market moves in all three, which is something you know that I don't do in other sports. Okay, Max, this is a giant card tomorrow. Is there anything that's jumping out at you right now?
Well, I'm looking to get on American versus William & Mary as soon as the line drops offshore. It's going to be on the added game list, but Saeed Nelson will play tomorrow. Him, Jameer Harris, that will be a solid backcourt, and American wins when Saeed Nelson's in the lineup. Losing in that embarrassing fashion to Siena, which I doubled up on the Siena -1.5 in the over. I look for American University to really put a thumping on William & Mary, because let's be frank, without Nathan Knight, this could be one of the worst teams in the nation. Another game that I'm looking at is Vermont St. Bonaventure. St. Bonaventure just lost Osan Asuni. They got embarrassed at home versus Ohio. I was on the wrong side of that game. I'm looking to get on Vermont. Vermont with the addition of Daniel Giddens to the lineup, the Alabama 6'11" transfer, to go along with Anthony Lamb, who is a mid-major All-American in my mind. I think that Vermont, even though they lose Ernie Duncan, they still have Robin Duncan. I think that they are fine. And Steph Smith from Ajax, Ontario goes off from the 3-point line. Another look that I'm looking at once the line drops is Ryder. Ryder versus Delaware State on the road again. Ryder had to come back from 15 points in their previous game versus Coppin State. They didn't cover for me. I think that they're going to have a complete game from minute 1 to minute 40. And I think that if you see a line under 18 points, hit Ryder, because they're going to cover that shit.
We have lines. We have lines for those games. Lines have popped up at 5 dimes and Bookmaker. William & Mary American. Americans opened up at -3.5 at -120 at 5 dimes. Oh, it just opened at Heritage as well. Heritage and Bookmaker had opened them up at -3.5 at -110. What do you think of that opening? Was that around what you had expected?
Yeah. That 3.5 is juicy. I like it a lot. I like Vermont at a pick'em. I like Ryder at 16.5. Obviously, I prefer to get -110 juice and try and hold off, because obviously that's what's going to be better long term, and that's what's going to make me a winner with the volume that I lay. The juice matters. Another spot that I'm interested in is Longwood as a plus 8.5 point favorite. Jashawn Smith, Jalen Smith, Shabuti Phillips, these guys are electric. They were one of the best ATS road teams last year. I look for Longwood to possibly beat George Mason. I just need to find out if Justin Kier is going to be playing. If Justin Kier is out, I like Longwood that much more. So as soon as I'm off the show and I'm on the live line, I probably won't be going ballistic because I'll be looking at these lines, trying to hit them before they move.
And you don't want to add any of these as official plays as of yet?
No, because they're at minus 120 juice.
They're not all. Unless you're right. The pick'em's at minus 120. The minus one's at minus 110. So I'll let you. I'll just wait and follow your Twitter.
If you give me the 3.5 on American right now, minus 110 from the Heritage line, I'll take that, and then I'll just have to wait to actually bet it on my own personal accounts.
Okay, American minus 3.5 at minus 110 is being locked in right now by our very own Maxwell Smart. And Vermont Rider, you're going to wait. And sorry, I was writing. What was the last one you just gave as an early look?
Yeah, that would be Longwood plus 8.5. versus George Mason.
Longwood.
That's a game I feel strongly about. Same with the Ryder game.
But you're gonna wait on those two spots.
Unless I can get minus 110 juice. No, I'm gonna wait on those spots just because I want to see what the line does. And obviously all you have to do is look at my Twitter page and you'll see what I'm posting when I hit it. Because I'm gonna be hitting these lines early tonight. I can already tell you that right now.
Our guy, new father, Von Polo, such a great low bagger. And, I've been pissed off a lot of today. And just thinking about your little one puts a big smile on my face. And just thankful to have you in my life, Von Polo. Von Polo says, Jimmy, can you ask him about the Utah game tomorrow at 9 o'clock? Mississippi Valley State, Utah. Utah 28-point favorites in Mississippi Valley State with a total at 148. I know I'm just throwing this at you out of nowhere. You have any feel on this or any early lean to help our guy?
Yeah,
Father Von Polo?
Mississippi Valley State's a really bad team. I would be looking off the initial line open. I'd be looking at Utah minus 28. I'd be looking at the under 148.5. We saw what Mississippi Valley State had done to them against Iowa State. Now you're playing against a very defensive, very well-coached Utah team that has a lot of new faces, but from what I've seen in that Nevada game, they're ready to go. So I don't think that Mississippi Valley State's going to be able to put up 74 points like they did against Utah. I expect Utah to smack them in the mouth with a 14-inch dildo and keep this game under.
That does not sound... Okay, let's just keep rolling. Sebastian Arnold says, does Max have any opinion on Baylor? I think Baylor could make a run this year. They're very stacked. Brought back nearly everyone.
Yeah, this is an interesting game because obviously it's being played in Anchorage, Alaska. So I don't really know about the travel spot for it, but I do think that Baylor is the spot to play at this time right now. I would be more interested in the under. I don't think that Jared Butler is going to hit 30 points and just go off from the 3-point line again for Baylor. I also worry about Tristan Clark and how he's adjusting to coming back from injury. He got into foul trouble in the game against Central Arkansas, and this Baylor team obviously is going to have to contend with the size and youth of Washington. I'm just not sure Washington is able to replace all the scoring that they lost and all the defensive ability that they lost, specifically Matthias Thybulle, who was really the glue guy in that backcourt. So my initial lean would be to Baylor, and then I'd also be leaning towards the under.
Baylor -5, but you like Washington's chances at 70-1 as a future look, right? Because we talked about that on Monday.
I like Washington as a future look, but we're talking about November. There's a lot of growth that I'm expecting to happen between here and March.
I hear you. I absolutely hear you. There you have it. Very exciting. Rich Kemp has a question. Says, can you ask Max really quick if he uses Ken Palm or Sagarin for handicapping college hoops?
I use Sagarin. I don't use Ken Palm that much. I'm trying to use it a little more this year. But I find that with my adjusting power ratings every day, I find that I have a good grasp of what these teams are capable of doing from a scoring standpoint and from an ATS standpoint, whether it be over under on the spread, first half, team totals, whatnot, so forth. But you know what? Part of capping in college basketball is growing, is being innovative, is taking the next step, and always never refusing help. So it's something that I'm going to be incorporating more and more into my capping as the years go. But just getting into Ken Palm now, and yeah.
I love it. Those of you who want more Maxwell Smart live line this evening, and that pops off in 30 minutes. Max, spectacular work. Thank you so much for joining us. Our pleasure, Rich Kemp. Rich Kemp, look, we know what's up. This show is special because of our chat, because of you guys, all the energy you put in. And then that creates a situation where we get guys like Max who get so excited about being on the show because of guys in our chat and all of us working together to defeat the juice. And that's what Max is doing right now. Max, thank you so much. There's our guy, Mississippi Kid in the house too. Max, thank you so much, man. I came in late. Can you summarize his plays for tonight and tomorrow? Yes. Tonight, Seattle under 142.5 and minus 110. He beat that market move by 7 points. Actually, that's come up since he said that when it got down to 136, he said I would take the over now, and since then it's up to 138. He's also on the Hartford under 152. That market move went against him. Robert Morris plus 9.5 minus 105. Robert Morris under 150.5 minus 115. Rutgers first half minus 12 minus 110. I tailed that. Rutgers under 142 and minus 116 is his play of the day. Clemson under 138.5 minus 115. UAB minus 7.5 minus 105. I tailed that. Air Force under 137.5 minus 115. He gave out last night. That is another market move. He beat by 6 points. And then on Friday, he has given out American minus 3.5 minus 110. I'm going to copy and paste Rich G's props for tonight. And yes, James Bond, he's on that Clemson under. And he almost took the Clemson first half. He didn't take that because he wanted it at 10.5 and there was only an 11 available. Put a bow on it. Max, my friend, great job. Follow this guy at Maxwell Smart 420 on Twitter. Max, can you do us the great honor of introducing none other than Freddie Fortune?
You know what, Jim? I have the distinct pleasure for a third day in a row to introduce to you, my fellow low baggers, my friends, my familia, a guy named Freddie, a guy named Fortune. Bless him, and hope that he comes with some sick graphics for me in the future. Let's go, Freddie.
Welcome. How are you? I know you were hoping that Flash was going to be here. I heard some strange stories that you guys have actually bonded.
Yeah, we had a Halloween party
Yes.
at the office.
It wasn't at the office, but I didn't go.
Why?
Rockets, Nets? What the fuck do you expect from me?
Oh,
Drinking heavy, watching a basketball game.
but we drank heavy and sang karaoke
I heard
at the
that.
party, yeah.
And you and Flash sang a song together?
Yeah, he sucks.
Yeah? What song did you guys sing?
Wonderwall,
Wonderwall.
yeah.
Oh, Rafa heard it too. Did they do a nice job?
No, Flash sucked. I tried to
Come
help
see,
him,
come
but
gasm is what we got there. Okay, can you hit me with a bar or two?
I'm kind of shy.
I don't know. Come on, just give me a little taste of it. I missed it. I
Do
missed
you
the
have
part.
some tequila or?
No, I don't have nothing.
And after all, you're my wonderwall.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
You set that up right, so I just see you licking your damn lips. Eh?
I'm sorry.
It's okay. If you don't sing it, if you don't push that shit out,
I can't sing.
sing it like a man,
I need
or
help.
don't give out your play. Sing it.
I
Sing it.
And after all, you're my wonderwall.
All right. What's your action today, Freddie?
Did you like it?
No,
Why?
because you weren't pushing that shit out.
idiot.
What sport are you? How was your last play? Did it cash?
No.
You a loser? Big L? Okay.
Yeah, Australian.
Put it on, Big L. Put it on.
It's squash.
Squash. What
Yeah.
country?
This is the World Championship.
Oh, where's that being held?
I have no idea. I don't care.
All right.
I don't feel like capping sports today.
Okay.
I just wanna.
Just put everybody to sleep before the show is over.
I wish I could sleep with my friend,
Oh Jesus.
but in a friendly way.
Oh God. All right. What's your squash play? Let's get out of here.
It's George Parker at plus 125 over James Wilstrop at bet 365.
All right. Yes, I have his Twitter handle right there.
Flashes?
Jim Rome seduced, wondering why you're not hitting Swedish bandy.
Because I'm getting tired of bandy.
Yeah.
I like it, but I like to switch sports.
Sure. Sure.
I don't like to switch friends.
Sure.
And my friend is not here. So.
Can you can you give us your play once more?
Yeah, it's the PSA World Championship. It's George Parker plus 125 over James Wilstrop.
Your guy George Parker, squash championships. Exciting stuff. Could you sing us out with one more?
Leche.
No, I want more song from
I
Wonderwall.
Oh.
Yeah.
And after all, you're my wonder. No, don't leave.
No, I'm gonna leave.
I can't.
Keep singing.
I
Come on.
can't sing.
Come on, no, you
without
can't.
here
No,
now.
come on.
This is weird with.
Come on, you can do
without
it.
here.
Come on.
And after all, you're my wonder. Oh, please end this pain for me. And baby, you're gonna be the one that saves me. Please, no. Everyone's leaving. Why? No. Oh, everyone left the studio. Rafa, please close the show. Please, this is. I am suffering. Jimmy, please come back. I can see you. Come here. This is the worst thing ever.
Leche, hey, los bookmakers.